Hello coders. It's always that weird time between streams, like between pressing the start streaming and then YouTube saying, oh yes, you are now live. So I'm just looking at the playback and just seeing my confused face. Anyway, today we're going to be working on a new course, or planning a new course. Last time I was doing this, streaming on YouTube, we were playing with a course template. And this is a template I'll show you, in fact, rather than me waffle on. This is the template that we came up with. It's just a GitHub repo, and it's just a template for the documentation. Like, so for instance, if I clicked on requirements, you know, putting in requirements, that kind of stuff, go back to README. And today I just want to start building out a new, you know, the first bit, if you will, of this. And what we're going to be working on is a PHP course, beginner friendly. It's going to be free. I only want it to be at the very least, no, at the very maximum, I want it to be 6 tutorials long, not including the intro. So 6 tutorials long. That's the maximum. And what else do I want? Oh yes. So I want to teach logging in and logging out using sessions, and there's a form. So there's going to be a little bit of HTML, a little bit of CSS, nothing massive, just to build a form. And then there'll be session management, so logging in, logging out. There's going to be a bunch of sort of static data. So I'm not going to lean on like a data store, like a database or anything like that. It's going to be just very basic. So you log in and you can see this information. You go to a web page that you can only get to when you're logged in. So it's going to teach session management, and there'll be a log out button as well. We're not going to use any frameworks. This is going to be raw PHP, so it's going to be it should be pretty straightforward. But like I said, this is, and it's supposed to be, because this is supposed to be a beginner-friendly course that I would like to put together. The release date of this, I'm not too sure yet, because obviously I need to do the videos, and I'm hoping that when my new MacBook Pro comes, I'll be able to do the recording on that. So what I would like to do today is actually use this template and start creating this course. And as I go through this, I'm going to start filling out the various bits and pieces as I go through, and I'm sure we'll change up, you know, the various bits as that works. So yes, first up, let's create use this template, and I am going to I'll set it as private, and I'm going to have course /PHP, and I'm not sure whether I should call it session, or I think I'm going to do login. So I haven't come up yet with the actual course title, which is important, but in my experience, you don't come up with these things until you're actually in it. So that might be a temporary sort of thing. PHP login. So this is a PHP course that teaches login, logouts, and session management. Now again, that all might change. So we're going to create that. Generating the repo. Okay, so let's go and clone this. So let's grab that. Let's go into, I don't have the terminal running. And I don't want anything crazy here. I don't want any Docker. I don't want any I want it out the box, you know. I don't well, look, every time I do this, there's an update. Bear with me. I'll just install the update. This could all go horribly wrong. Yeah, so I don't want it to have any Docker. I don't want it to have any frameworks. I don't want it to have any CSS frameworks. I don't want it to have any JavaScript frameworks. I just want this to be a pure... I can relaunch that. Cool. I just want this to be a nice, pure, and as simple as it possibly can be. Like I said, this is going to be free, and the code will be available at some point as well. So, and it's going to be the first one using this template. So I hope this works okay. All right, let's grab that, and I'm gonna. Why are you not? There we go. All right, let's make this a wee bit bigger, and drag that over there. Okay, so CD into. Where shall we go? Code. How to code well. That's always a good one. From here, let's do an ls. Let's create. We got course notes, course template. That's the template. Let's do a mixture of courses. So go into courses. As you can see, this is completely fresh and new. So this is a different way of doing my courses than I've done before. Let's now do a git clone of that particular course. Boom. There we go. And then I'm going to just load this up in PHP Storm. So let's create a new... Open this up as code. Oh, let's get rid of courses. Course. There we go. This window's fine. Okay, so that should now be loading up. Awesome. And should I be working directly on master? I'm not sure. I mean, if it was any other project, you wouldn't be. I suppose it's okay. I suppose I could just throw it on master. It's just me, isn't it? There's no big issue there. All right, let's start filling this out. So course title will be something like PHP PHP login, I guess. Okay, we won't put in the URL yet, and the course description, I suppose. Let's get rid of these and do this course. I'm just making this up. This course teaches this course blah 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 blah. This course yeah, how to log in, log out, and manage sessions in PHP. All right. Okay, so we'll keep that there because obviously there needs to be a link for it to go. And then the requirements, let's get into that. So let's go docs and then requirements. So we've got both the learner requirements and the system requirements. I suppose we should tackle the system requirements first. Now, I'm going to be using PHP 8, but you don't have to have PHP 8 on here. But I'm going to say you need to have at least PHP 7. So PHP 7 plus. System requirement number 2. So we're not using Docker, but we probably no, I think. Oh yeah, you'll need a CLI, right? So you'll need like a terminal. So it's Windows. You can use Windows. You can use Mac, Mac OS, or Linux. Any distro of those, and you also need to have yeah, I'll leave it at that. Linux. I think that's all. Oh yes, you need a browser. So browser, so that could be Chrome or whatever. but I'll put Chrome or Firefox. I'll have to test it in all of these. I'm going to just put in Chrome for now. Okay, learner requirements. I think I might leave those and then think about them as I go through it. So, okay, now the installation process and the uninstallation process will have to wait until we actually get things in. Lessons. Now, this is the interesting part. I can use this as a means of sort of planning, right? So, lessons in this course. The first lesson, let's do, if we think about this, if we plan this out. So the first thing will be, it's going to be a login, logout. So you need to have a form. You need to create that. So I guess the first thing to do is to create. We could simply login form. And then the second one would be something like it's not a great name, but static data, or backend data, something like that. Static, yeah, backend data. Or let's do PHP setup. That's probably PHP session setup. Let's do the next one. Let's do logout. So again, so for each one of these lessons, there's going to be a video. So I'm just thinking in my head. I'm making this up as I go along. This is all going to change probably. So we have login form, PHP session setup. And then we've got PHP session. Well, you've got handle logout. And then the next one would be, I guess what I wouldn't want them to do is to session setup. The next one would be handle login, right? Handle login. The next one would be secure. Secure pages, and then handle logout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of okay. The first lesson will be the intro, although we won't. Well, the first video will be the intro, but it's not really part of that, to be honest. I think that kind of works out all right. So first lesson will be building the login form. So let's do building login form. And I guess the next one will also be because what I would like to do is get over do the HTML and the CSS stuff first, and then deal with all of this stuff. So building table, building dashboard. So they're going to log into a dashboard. I haven't decided what's going to be on this dashboard yet. I'm literally making this up as we go along, but they obviously need to log into something. And that dashboard can only be seen when they're logged in. So if you go to like /dashboard and you're logged out, you need to be redirected back to the login. So that's true. It deals with, yeah. So if we go back to here in README, I guess in the description, I should have something like what you will learn. So we'll have like create create HTML login form, manage PHP Sessions, secure PHP pages, or secure HTTP requests, secure, well, no, let's just do PHP pages. Then we'll have, well, there's going to be redirection, so that I'll need to teach like login header redirects. So header redirection. Okay. All right. So they're the four things that the four concepts that I will teach. So let's do PHP session management. So creating a session, deleting the session, you know what I mean. Cannot spell to save my life. There we go. And then how to secure. I mean, I could probably add some gumph around this, some fluff, but at least this'll keep me on the straight and narrow. Okay, so now I suppose we've got a bit of the bones on here. We've got index, building login form, building dashboard, PHP session setup, handle login, secure the pages, handle logout. Boom. I'm wondering if we need to put secure pages. I mean, that's going to be a very quick video, isn't it? It's just yeah. I mean, I wonder if I could probably do those two in the same video, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I suppose we should start building this, right? I'm sure all this will change as I go. Okay, so let's close those all down. I'm going to just take this off because I'm boiling hot. These studio lights are very bright. All right, so okay, let's get into the project. So what we need to do is to build stuff. I guess what we start with is an index.php, right? Now this is going to be obviously the complete project, and when I record this, I'm going to have to delete parts of this and then, you know, like type and talk and look into the camera, but you need to know what you're going to do. So this is the preparation for this. So I guess this is the index page. This will have the login form, and then we'll have dashboard. That will be so. Let's put in some comments because I just to display or. Right, first up, check if user has already logged in. If logged in, redirect to dashboard, so that'll be / dashboard.php. 3, if not logged in, display login form. Okay. If not okay, that is as simple as the index page needs to be. So we'll just have a look at this. This is kind of doing the reverse. So check if the user has already logged in. If logged in, display the dashboard. Again, I need to make that up, or whatever that's going to be, dashboard. So it'll probably be the user's name. If not logged in, redirect user to index.php, which is our PHP, which is our thing. Now you got to be careful here, because the amount of times I've done this and I've got it wrong, where I've got myself in a redirect loop, because it's saying, well, this is, you're not logged in, so we'll go to the index page, and the index page is going, well, you are logged in, so let's go to the dashboard, and then the dashboard's like, no, you're not logged in, let's go back to the index, and then, you know, you're in that forever loop. I guess I could demonstrate that, to be honest, on the thing. Is there any more that I need? I suppose I could do with config to configure this, and I'm thinking we would have config .php, and what I was considering is like an array of configuration. I mean, this is going now against our lessons, right? But what let's just throw it out. So let's do config is equal to an array. We're going to hard code a load of stuff. So let's do user has a username. Again, totally making this up. How to code well, and the password. Again, all of this would be stored somewhere else in a real life project, but just for the purpose of this, I just want to focus mostly on session management. So it's not gonna, and I will be making a point in the video to say you would normally put this in a database table and hash it and do all the crazy stuff, but for now, maybe I should deal with hashing. For now, let's just create a default password test. Test HTCW. Okay, so then that's the user config. Let's do a configuration for the table. So let's do, or dashboard. So let's do dashboard. And I suppose we need to decide what's on this dashboard, right? I'm guessing we could just generate some random numbers and or random stuff and put it in a table. I guess. So we could have data being another array. Array, Pete, that's not an array, is it? There we go. An array of arrays, right? So this would be then the rows in that table that you can only see if you are logged in. I guess. What am I going to do with this data? What shall I put in? I guess we could do just the data of products, can't we? So let's do product name. And let's do product price. Let's also do do I want to go into, I'm now thinking that this dashboard should show orders, previous orders. So in that case, we would have, so if it was a dashboard of orders, you would have the name, the price, you would have the, what else would you have? You would have date, order date, you would have probably VAT or whatever. I think that's okay to go on though, those three. I guess you could have an image. Again, this is going a little bit beyond the scope of this, because now I've got to think, well, I've got to deal with dates, and now I've got to deal with image tags. All right. I think we'll leave it like that for now. And I'm going to just put in some snotty stuff. So product 1, price is an integer, so we'll do, or a float. Let's do something like 550. Let's do an image of, I haven't got the images yet, so let's do, I don't know, let's do, I'm looking at my keyboard, so let's do keyboard.jpg, and let's change that to be a keyboard. And the order date, let's do a new date time. Doesn't really matter because it's going to just be today's date. That's fine. And let's grab that, paste that into there. So I guess with the keyboard you need a mouse. And this is going to be 99, and that will be mouse. Keyboard is not that cheap. Let's do a 99 pound keyboard, and yeah, I think that will be okay for now. And then what I'm thinking is that we would have like config is equal to require once, and then we would go back to sort of config.php, and then that would give me the variable, you know, the actual data. So so we would have like user and whatnot. I think that's so. With this, we would also need to load up config, but we would only need to load up that portion of the config. Maybe we should change that to be rename. Let's change that to be dashboard config. In fact, maybe let's just keep this a little bit more organized. So let's change this to be order config, and let's get rid of let's copy that and change that to be user config as well. So with user config, yeah, we want to add that user config. We are not going to care about the dashboard, and in the order config we are going to care about the dashboard. In fact, we don't need that, do we? We just need, we don't need that. Yeah, so we've got user and then we've got orders. Yeah, let's add another one here. Let's call this monitor. And let's set that to £1,500. Okay. Okay, so our dashboard will have 3 rows of orders that you've seen. And I suppose with the user, you could probably create multiple users. So you would have users as an array of arrays. So, sorry, Getting confused. There we go. So you have multiple users, which means that you would do a loop to check what the usernames and passwords are. So let's do how to code well 1, as imaginative as possible, to how to code well 2. This will, I can then demonstrate, you know, I can log in with this user, but I can't log in with that user, and so forth. And then I suppose as now I've got 2 users, I need to create some form of mapping, right, between the user config and the order config. So I guess what we could do is an items array in here. Again, this is going a little bit beyond the scope of the sessions and everything, but let's just run with it. And then we'll have user, and we'll connect that to the user that we want up here. So in fact, we can make this an associative array. So let's do user underscore 1. And then this one is, you guessed it, user underscore 2. So that would be user is equal to user underscore 1. And then we would grab, let's bring that out there. There we go. Then we would grab another one of this, another one of these, paste that underneath. Whoops, I've gone and screwed that up. Hang on. There we go. Boom. And that would be user number 2. Now, user number 2 will have a different set of data to user number 1. So, user number 2 has bought a watch for 350 because it's an expensive watch. And that's all you've bought. There you go, because let's not repeat ourselves. Sweet. All right. So 2 users, 2 orders. When you land on the dashboard, so you get, let's do user config. I can't spell it. Is equal to, I put it in config now, haven't I? Config / user config. Do some fancy check-in, and then get the dashboard config. So there we go. Config dashboard config. Why can't I? Oh, it's order config. What am I talking about? There we go. Cool. Obviously, you'll only get that if you're actually logged in. So we need to do some redirection. So first up is to get the user config, get the user data. Then what we need to do after that is to do all of this jazz. Then after that, if you so user is logged in, we then need to display the dashboard. Okay, now I haven't really decided yet how this is going to work in terms of, like, will it have raw HTML and then we inject all of this stuff in. If I was to do that, I would need to discuss things like buffer, output buffers and stuff. So I don't know whether we should just build a HTML file, HTML within the PHP and just echo that out. I mean, that might be easier. Hey Rajesh, thank you, Rajesh B. I am going to use core PHP, yeah. Instead of using PHP's array, we can create a YAML file. Nah. So yes, I am totally aware we could do all this, but I really want to keep this as simple as possible. Just PHP. I don't want to be teaching anything else. You know, the basics. And anyway, PHP is quicker than parsing YAML, so there's that. As you've mentioned, quite rightfully so. Okay, so again, totally making this up as I go. As you can probably tell. So whether or not we create the HTML, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do this. I guess first of all, let's just see if we've got all these things, right? So let's do a print pre, because, you know, knowing me, I've probably screwed something up. Print R, and we will grab the user config down here, and we'll grab the that as well. All right, let's just dive into the code. So in here, I mean, why is that? There we go. We want to go into course, blah, blah, blah. We want to go into project, and I guess we want to load it from there, right? So we want to do php-s. We're going to load it at localhost 8080, and let's see if that runs. He says, so locale, I can't spell, 8080, boom. No, it's just the white screen of doom. Oh, of course, because that's on index. Sorry. That needs to be dashboard.php. We have 11. I don't know why. Why do we have 11? Why is that at 200%? What's going on? Why is that 11? That's a bit weird, isn't it? I didn't expect that to happen. Let's just comment that out. Refresh this. It's now 1. Is it because how I'm requiring these things? Probably. Is it different if I did include? I think it is. Let me just consult the I think, let's do include. I thought there was a way of actually, oh no, I need to echo this out, do I not? Or return it. That's what I need to do. Of course, I need to return the return config, and return config on. Because 1 is just saying, yeah, you've got it. It's true, you know. Yeah, so back onto the dashboard. All right, let's refresh this. There we go. Let's bring that up and make that a little bit bigger. So yeah, we've got the arrays here, and let's also do the same for you. Bazinga. Okay, so there we go. We've got our orders. So let's say we have logged in, right? So we'll do user is equal to, and we'll just like user 1, for instance. What we want to do is remind ourselves how I've set the order config up. There we go, orders, and then user. So we want to loop through the config. And yes, PHP Storm is going to tell me that I can just do that. Get rid of you. Same deal with that. Just return. There we go. All right. Yeah, so back to the dashboard. We're going to set that. So what I need to do is loop over the order config, or do order config. I think it's orders. Let's put this on the right hand side because I'm going to constantly start flipping forward and back. Dashboard. Right, so orders goes, let's get rid of that for a second, make some room. Orders. So for each, I suppose what will happen is that there's going to be a bunch of functions, right? So we'll have like function get order passing in this string of user. Yeah. What's wrong there? Scalia type hints are only allowed in PHP 7. Switch to PHP 7 language level. What? What are you set to? 5? Come on. Don't give me that rubbish. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's going to return an array. Come on, mate. Spell it. An array or null. Now I've just put in that, so I'm going to have to go back over to the README file and bump this up to PHP 8. So that's in requirements, because that isn't allowed in just 7. Let's do 8. There we go. Right, back to the dashboard. So we need to also supply the order config as well into here. So this will be an array of config. All right, so we need to look for that. So we're gonna call this. We're gonna do order is equal to get order, passing in the order config as well as the user. So there we go. So that will we're passing in this, so we need to loop over the orders and then find the one that it relates to the user. So for each config for each config orders, we could probably get rid of that, to be fair, can't we? Probably get rid of that, but we'll keep it for now. Orders as order, and then if order user 123 is equal to user, then return config. Think. Is that it is? It's key, right? So yeah, as key. So we want to basically return the portion. So that would be orders. That would be key. There we go. And then down here we would just return null. There we go. So it's going to loop through all the orders and it's going to find whether the user matches the user that we've supplied, and if it is, then we return this portion of the orders. So or this portion of the orders. I think that's kind of fine. Let's test this. So let's go to first up, let's do user 2 because that's more of an obvious thing, and let's print the order. Let's go over to here, refresh the page. Oh no, fatal error. Cannot access offset of type string on string in line 22 of the dashboard. Line 22, which is this one. Order. Cannot access offset of type string on string. Okay. So we're passing in the whole thing. We're looping over the orders as order. All right, let me just see what order is at this given moment. Ah, okay. It is, that's true. That is the start of the array. Bugger. Yes, I've been looking at this, but that's the start of the array, so that's not going to work, is it? All right, let's simplify this. Let's get rid of that. And let's see, items user. That's the end of that. So we don't need, we do need that, but we don't need that. Is that right? Expected semicolon. There's some problem here. Let's bring this out. I can't really see what's going on here. So that's that first one. Then we've got user, and then we've got items straight after. So I would have thought that needs to go there, right? But it's not the case. Expected. So you're expecting another one, are you? That's not right. Rubbish. No, I'm going to need an array of arrays. Yes, I am going to... Getting myself all confused. I am going to need an array of arrays. Of course I am. Silly. So we are going to need... Get rid of you. We are going to need that. Yes. Okay. Yes, we are going to need an array of arrays. So we're looping over the orders that we've got. We just have removed this. So we're going to loop over the orders as key. So that would be 0, and then that would be 1. And then that's the particular order config, right? So if we were to and then we would have order user. Yeah, that makes sense. Return the key. That's all we needed to do. I overcomplicated that massively. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So that's obviously yeah, let's do that. Run that back. All right, so user 2, that's what we've selected. So if we go and change that to user 1 and run that, that should now return user 1 data and just user 1 data. And then that, yes, sorry, going back here, then change that back again to user 2. There we go. There we go. I just totally overcomplicated that whole process. Typical. Hey, thank you for joining. Hi from India. Woo, thank you. I hope you're doing well over there. So, right. So now we've got that. We don't actually need the key anymore. We just need that. So now we get the. So let's say we've got the user stuff, and now we've got the order stuff. I suppose what we need to do is create some output. Really. I'm gonna just create some dummy things. So function. Oh, bear with me a second. Yeah. Function. Let's do a call called is user or is logged in, right? Which is going to return, oops, which will return a boolean. And at the moment, we're just going to return true because we need to obviously deal with all that. Then we got a get order jobby. So the first thing, I suppose we need to do function get user, which will return us a string. So we'll do string here, and for this purpose, we're just going to return user underscore 2. Nothing wild. So all right. So we'll do this. We'll do if is. Of course, that needs functions go at the top. All right, we're gonna have to rewire some of this, I think. Actually, no, I should be able to do that, shouldn't I? Is logged. Has logged in is equal to is logged in. So if has logged in, then we do user. Well, if that is false, then we need to do some redirection. So that becomes this in there. Okay, so we do some redirection, and so that we just basically do like a header redirect. So that would be like location slash index.php, and then we exit that out. Okay, and then so we do the first check to check whether we've logged in. So when you're down here, you are logged in. So we can then do user is equal to get user. Now we know that that's going to return the user 2. So that's fine. And then we can just do order. Get order passing in the user. So we don't need that anymore. So we're slowly building this out as we go. Yeah. All right, so now we need to print something out. Let's just refresh the page. Let's just do echo you are logged in just for a minute. Echo that out to the screen. Thank you. Okay, cool. So we need to generate some HTML. I think I'm going to create this as a function. So we'll do create display dashboard, and we pass in both the user and the order config. Actually, no, the user and the order. So the order that we've got from here. Now the user, we're going to have to return the specific user from the user config. So how did I do that? How did I do that? All right. So again, we've overcomplicated this. So we're going to remove users. We don't need that as an index because it's just a list of users. That's all. So in the index, in the order. No, in the dashboard. Yeah. So in this get user routine, we need to get the user. We already know the user's logged in, so we're going to pass in user. Yeah, we're just going to pass in. I guess we would call it user reference, user ref. And I suppose we should do the same for you as well. Unless we were really clever and we actually created the orders, set these to be the user names of the user. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's try that. So the username are 1, 2. Yeah, that makes a bunch of sense actually. So there's that. And then there's that, and of course we need to change our dashboard to return number 2. So let's create another function, another little one called get user name, and we're just going to return how to code well 2. So that will return a string, and we'll do username is equal to get username. We'll need to pass in something that comes back from the sort of the login process in order to get the user particulars. Okay, so then get user passing in the username in here. Excuse me, my dog has just barged in. All right. String and string. All right. So this will get the user stuff from here, your user config. So we're going to pass that down into get user. Is that the right way of doing it? Is that what I want to try and achieve here? Am I blowing this out of proportion? What do I need to do? We're just displaying the dashboard. Do I need to do all this stuff? Probably not. That's now called username. I've gone and yeah. Why do I need the user on the dashboard? Well, I wanted to say welcome and then the username. So maybe that's all I need is the username. So this is a string, because I'm not going to display the password, am I? And then this is going to be an array. And so we don't actually need to get the user now. We just need to get the username. That's all we need to do. So we don't need this. We're just going to return that. I'll come up with some mechanism of how to do that when we get to the actual login bit. That's fine. So now we need to display some HTML, right? So I guess what we would do is HTML is equal to, and then double quotes, and actually start building out a table like so, and then down here we will return the table, return HTML. So after this we would have a tr, yes, and then we would have th, and then we would have like what was the order config? Let's have a little look at you. Just check things. Sorry. cool. How to code well tuned, blah 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 blah. Sorry. I got distracted. Let's bring that up in the left side or right side. So we have items. So we've got name, and then we've got price. We're going to have an empty table cell for the image. So that's image, price, name, and then date. Date ordered. All right. So we then return the HTML. Okay, fine. We need another TR. Let's do this better. So let's do a table head. Yep, down there. And then this is a table body. Like that. And then I want to try and keep formatting this, but it's just not letting me, obviously. Let's make this a little better. There we go. Yeah. So we've got the table head there, and then we've got the table body, and that will have. This is the thing we're going to need to loop over this. So what we'll do. Yeah. So for every row, fine. Let's close that out. Let's then. We'll deal with the TRs in a minute. HTML. I'm still making this up as I roll. There we go. So we concat that, and then here we need to do some fancy pants logging or looping. So let's do for each. What have we got here? Order. As. Let me think. This we could actually do order item. Items. As item. So we do that, and then what we do is HTML concat that to tr. There we go. No. And then we would have a TD, that's what I'm looking for. And we would need to come out of this again. Oh, this is where I miss Twig so much. But no, I'm not teaching Twig. Doing things like this really gives you an appreciation for templating engines. All right, so then we would have to do HTML. No. We would, in fact, we don't actually need to do any of that, do we? We just concat that. Yeah, well, we don't need that at all. We just do this. So this would be item, and then what's the first thing? Product name. And then the next one would be, no, not there, there. We would have product name, product price. Well, we would have, first of all, you would have the image. So you would have product image up here. That would be on some sort of image src job. Let's just get rid of that for a minute. That's doing my head in. There we go. And then you would have the name, and then after that you would have the price. Come on. Keyboard is getting in the way. That's it, copy paste. You would have price, and then you would have the date ordered. So that would be price. And that will be date. Order date. All right. So we concatenate that. And then that. And then return HTML. Okay, what's going on with these errors? Unused element. Oh, right, fine. So that's going to return a string. Obviously. So we can then just echo display dashboard, passing in the username and the order, I want to say. Order and username. Okay, I've got a horrible feeling that this won't work. There's some weirdness going on here, but we'll give it a go. There we go. Object of date time. Oh yes, of course, it can be converted to a string. Sweet. So are these? Yes, these are actually objects. Okay, that's fine. Well, that's not a problem. We can do date, time. No, we can't. Create from format, passing in the format as well as the times. Oh, actually, no, because it is a date time. No, we don't need that, do we? We could just format this out. I always get dates wrong. Let's just go and say order dates is equal to this. And then for ease of use, let's go var date time is order date. There we go. Now my ID knows what this is. So order date, and then there we go, format modifier. So format, let's do year, month, day. Actually, no, let's do it the proper English way. Day, month, year. Now I'm going to take a guess at this. Hours, minutes, seconds. I always get it wrong. That's probably going to complain, and I'm probably going to have to look at the documentation. Let's refresh. Undefined variable HTML on line 62. We've got the table headers printed out. Line 62, line 62, line 62. Interesting. Why is that on line 62? That is line 62. So am I not? That's where that quote ends. That's where that quote ends. That looks fine to me. Let's take out the image for a second. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Let's just get rid of that for a minute. That seems a bit strange. Nope, still a problem. Okay. variable HTML is probably undefined. Why? It's there. Let's do HTML is equal to HTML plus, no, dot, no. Oh, I can't spell HTML, that's why. Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Because see, this is dyslexia strikes again. Alright, let's see if that runs. There we go. So we ordered a watch. Why do I not have the table headers though? Oh, yes, silly me. Why? Hang on. What's going on? Why is that only printing that out? What's going on? There we go. It was just not set up right. Okay, so we got the name, we got the price, and we got the date ordered, and that's day, month. That should be today. Apart from that, time zone is wrong. But hey, okay, that's fine. Let's change this up now to use the other user. So that's how to code well 2. Let's do how to code well 1. Refresh. Yay! There we go. Now we got all the things. Images I'll have to deal with. The look and feel of this is terrible. I will have to deal with that. But I think also what I need to do is create HTML. One of these spellings is going to work. HTML. Let's do welcome. And then the name. So username. And we're going to do this in p tags. P like this. Oh, come on, man. I swear, when I do the video, the actual proper video, it's not going to be this bad. I promise. So we start that off, and then we concatenate that into there. There we go. So we should now have welcome, how to code well. Boom. Sweet. Okay. Hey, thank you. Thank you for joining. I think that's a pretty good start. Just displaying the table at least. Let me just make sure that redirect works. So let's say is logged in is false. So when we do get to dealing with the sessions, that should go here. So let's do echo. Something like you must be logged in or something. You must be logged in. Now there's going to be, I'm thinking aloud now, there's going to be a bunch of things like is logged in and all of that jazz. Get user, some functions that are generic to both the dashboard and the index. So I'm thinking maybe we create a very old school functions.php file to put all this in. That might be the way forward. Anyway, so that if we set this to false now, yeah, false. So if we refresh, does that go straight to the index? There we go. You must be logged in. Okay, so yeah, I need to create the login page, and then once that's wired up, we then need to go and create the sessions, add those in. But I think that's a good start. I need to shoot off now because I've been streaming for a while. I need to get some food. I guess we'll just carry on this on the next stream, I think, until it's done, really. But I think this is a good step in the right direction. You can see all the things. Oh, I could have used this as to get the errors out. To be fair, never mind. Yeah, so it's saying that there's no keyboard, mouse, monitor images, and the watch image. Yeah, cool. All right, I'm going to leave that there, and we'll continue this next Tuesday. I reckon. Yeah, cool. Thank you ever so much for watching, everyone. Following on with the struggle. Hope you all have a great evening or a day or wherever you are in the world. I know that there's a bunch of you that's have been watching from places like India and other places like that. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Next time I'll be live is the podcast, which is on Thursday at 8 o'clock British summertime, though it's not really summer anymore, but yeah, British summertime, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m.